Guess who knew about climate change decades before most people had even heard of it? ExxonMobil, one of the world's biggest oil companies. They knew this from their own research back in 1977. Ironic, because now they're one of the leading opponents of climate change science. In fact, some in the oil industry had known about climate change even earlier. And what they found led them to make pretty accurate predictions about what we're seeing today, that the world is getting warmer, ice caps are melting, and the climate is changing. Thing is, all that is caused by what makes Exxon money, extracting and burning fossil fuels. This information was published, but there wasn't that much public awareness about the dangers of climate change back then. So, ExxonMobil carried on extracting and selling oil, becoming one of the biggest corporations in the world. But by the time the world did start paying attention to the effects carbon emissions were having on the planet, ExxonMobil switched from being on the cutting edge of climate change science to being one of its biggest doubters. How? By employing tactics used by the tobacco industry. They spent big on campaign contributions and lobbying, paying lobbyists $61 million between 1998 and 2005. And they get their money's worth. ExxonMobil played a big role in the Bush administration's decision to drop the Kyoto Protocol. They also actively fund a network of think tanks and researchers that challenge the scientific consensus around climate change. Between 1998 and 2014, they spent $30 million on these organizations, which worked to create a sense of uncertainty about the science among the public. And that means less pressure on the government to regulate the oil industry. Given the fact that ExxonMobil products produce more emissions than some entire countries, it makes sense they'd want to maintain that uncertainty. And while oil has been a big factor in global development over the last century, spreading doubt about science to protect profits is going to cost us all in the long run. So just as we took the tobacco industry to task for denying the health risks of smoking, shouldn't we do the same with ExxonMobil and climate change?